Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well and having an amazing day. Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is honestly going to be one of the most important topics I think we could ever talk about in horse riding. Confidence. Because if you ride horses long enough, at some point your confidence will get shaken. I think sometimes people make it seem like confident riders are just fearless people who never get nervous, never doubt themselves, and never had bad rides. But that is honestly not true at all. Even the best riders in the world will lose confidence sometimes. Confidence in riding is not about never being scared, it's about learning how to keep going despite the fear. And I really want to make this episode because I know so many riders struggle with this silently, especially after falls, bad experiences, spooky moments, losing control, pressure from other riders, or even just feeling like you are not progressing fast enough. Sometimes your confidence drops all at once after one scary situation, and other times it slowly disappears you without you even realizing it. You start overthinking everything, you tense up more, you stop trusting yourself, and eventually riding becomes stressful instead of enjoyable. So today we're going to talk about why confidence drops, what fear actually does to riders, why confidence and control are not the same thing, and most importantly, how to slowly build yourself back up again. So let's get straight into it. Now, first of all, confidence usually drops because your brain is trying to protect you. That's important to understand. Fear is not weakness. Fear is your brain going, hey, something happened that feels unsafe, so let's avoid that happening again. And honestly, with horses, that makes sense. We are working with animals that are powerful, emotional, sensitive, and unpredictable sometimes. Even the calmest horse in the world can spook it as a plastic bag one day, and something scary happens, your brain remembers it. Maybe you had a bad fall, maybe your horse got bolted once, maybe you got bucked off, maybe someone shouted at you in a lesson, now you panic every time you ride. Maybe you lost confidence after moving barns or riding a stronger horse. Or maybe nothing major even happened. I think that's something people don't often talk about. Sometimes confidence drops simply because pressure builds up over time. You compare yourselves to other riders, you feel behind, you feel judged, you stop enjoying the process, and slowly riding stops feeling freeing and starts feeling stressful. Now the thing about fear, it is that it just doesn't stay in your mind, it shows up in your body too. When riders get nervous, they usually hold their breath, tighten their hands, tense their shoulders, grip with their knees, lean forward, freeze, or overreact to every little movement. And that difficult thing is that horses all feel that. Horses are incredibly sensitive animals. They notice changes in breathing, tension, balance, energy, and everything. So when a rider becomes tense, the horse often becomes tense too. And the rider feels the horse tense up, which makes the rider more nervous, which makes the horse more reactive, and suddenly it becomes a cycle. And honestly, this is why confidence is so connected to relaxation. A relaxed rider rides better, a relaxed rider thinks clearer, and a relaxed rider reacts softer. And sometimes people think confidence means brave and pushing through everything aggressively, but actually true confidence usually looks calm. I think one of the biggest mistakes riders make when they lose confidence is trying to rush themselves back to where they were before, and I honestly completely understand why. You remember how you used to ride, you remember how jumping higher, you remember cantering confidently, you remember feeling fearless. So when fear suddenly appears, it feels frustrating. But confidence doesn't come back through pressure, it comes back through positive experiences. That is such an important thing to remember. If every ride feels terrifying, overwhelming, and stressful, your brain is not learning safety, it's learning survival, which means sometimes the strongest thing a rider can do is slow down. And I know people hate hearing this because everyone wants confidence to come back instantly. But honestly, small steps rebuild confidence the fastest. Maybe right now your goal is not jumping a course. Maybe your goal is simply walking calmly, breathing properly, relaxing your shoulders, or finishing one ride feeling good instead of being terrified. That still counts. That still matters. Because every positive ride builds evidence in your brain that says, I'm okay, I can do this, I survived that. Confidence is built by ride, moment by moment, not through one magical breakthrough. Now this next part is really important. A lot of riders think confidence comes from having complete control over the horse. But horses are living animals. You will never control every single thing they do. And honestly, trying to control everything usually creates more anxiety. Because then every tiny spook, stumble, unexpected movement feels like a failure. Real confidence actually comes from trust. Trust in your horse, trust in your training, and trust in yourself to handle situations when they happen. There's a huge difference between I need everything to go perfectly and even if something goes wrong, I can cope. The second mindset changes everything. So now let's talk about actual things that genuinely help rebuild confidence. Number 1, breathe. This sounds simple, but it works. When riders get nervous, most people either hold their breath or breathe really shallowly, and that keeps your body stuck in panic mode. One thing that really helps is slowing your breathing down before things escalate. Deep inhale, slow exhale. And honestly, even talking or singing while riding can help because it forces you to breathe normally again. It sounds silly, but it genuinely works. Number 2, stop replaying worst case scenarios. A lot of nervous riders ride mentally in the future instead of the present. You're already imagining the horse spooking, the jump going wrong, falling off, losing control, or embarrassing yourself. And your body reacts as if those things are already happening. But most of the time, they aren't. So instead of focusing on what if everything goes wrong, try focusing on what's happening right now. Right now your horse is walking, your reins are steady, you are breathing and everything's okay. Staying present helps so much. Number 3, celebrate small wins. This one is huge because riders are so hard on themselves sometimes. You have a ride where your horse spooked but you stayed on, stay calm and recovered well. And somehow you can still call it a bad ride. But honestly, that's progress. Confidence grows when you acknowledge little victories. Maybe today you got on despite nerves, you canted in one circle, you rode a spooky corner, or you stayed relaxed longer than last week. Those things matter a lot. Number 4, ride the right horse for you. Now this may be a little controversial, but not every rider needs a super talented, flashy, difficult horse. Sometimes the best confidence is built a calm, forgiving horse that makes you feel safe. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. A horse that rebuilds your trust is worth everything, because confidence is very hard to rebuild on a horse that constantly scares you. Number 5, get support. Please don't go through confidence struggles alone. Talk to your trainers, talk to the other riders, be honest how you feel, because I promise you, more riders understand than you think. Even riders who look confident from the outside struggle mentally sometimes. I think one of the hardest parts about losing confidence is feeling disappointed in yourself. You start thinking, why am I scared? I used to do this easily. What's happened to me? But confidence is not linear. You are not failing because you got nervous. You are human. And honestly, some fear is healthy. Fear keeps us aware. Fear keeps us careful. The goal is not become fearless. The goal is learning how to ride through the nerves without letting them completely control you. At the end of the day, confidence is not built from perfect rides. It is built from difficult rides, messy rides, getting back on after bad days, trying again and proving to yourself little by little that you are capable. And honestly, some of the most strongest riders are not the fearless ones. They are the riders who were scared and kept showing up anyways. So if your confidence has dropped recently, I just want you to know this. You do not need to rush yourself. Take the small wins, take the quiet progress, take the calm rides. Because confidence comes back slowly, but it does come back. Thank you all so much for listening to today's episode. I really hope this helps some of you feel a little less alone in what you're experiencing. And remember, confidence is not about never failing. It's about trusting yourself enough to rise again. I hope you all have an amazing day or nights wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.